We are live, and happy Valentine's Day, all you badasses out there. How you doing? James C Burns here, Sergeant Frank Woods, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, 2, and 4. This is Sarge's Corner Livestream. Got a great show today. Very, very special guest coming up. I am almost embarrassed to be on the same screen as this guy. He's so talented. He is such a skilled purveyor of editing. Everything he does is great. Inkslasher is with us today. This is going to be one of my favorite shows. I can see it coming. Let's say hi to a few guys. Alec Rhodes is here. Master Z, hello. Adrian Espinosa is back. How you doing? Been a while. Alec Rhodes, of course. Almost Easy. Who else is here? Shuni's back. Hey, Shuni. Julian, nice to see you. Michael Ryan. Yoshi Rocks. Yeah, we got a clan here. This is good. You guys are coming in strong. I like it. How's the audio? The audio good? Give me a check here, somebody. Let me know how the audio's doing. Narks is here. How you doing, Narks? Ryan LeBlanc, Edgar Hala. Welcome, welcome. Quick Hamburger, one of my favorite things. Adam Rickard is here. Mason Warren is here. Loman, Trippa. Okay, Star Cypress. So, as I said before, my guest today is a Canadian-based YouTuber, Inkslasher. I'm sure you all know who this guy is. I found him last year, actually. I caught one of his videos, and I get impressed by two things. I get impressed by the quality of someone's craftsmanship, the skill by which they make a video, the editing, and the thought that goes into it, and then the depth of knowledge. And I watched his video on the Black Ops 4 story, which is really complicated and which is was very well buried into a lot of things, but he nailed it. He fucking nailed it. I mean, I don't know if he has insider information or if he's just a fucking genius. I don't know, but there's things he pulled out of there. I'm like, how the fuck did he know that? And then I've been tracking him ever since, and now I am so honored to have him on the show. So instead of me talking about him, let me get him on the show. Let me bring him in now. Okay, you guys ready for this? Let's welcome a big Sarge's Corner Livestream. Welcome to the one and only Inkslasher.
Hey, man.
There he is. You handsome bastard. You look at you. You're so professional. I'm humbled being next to you, dude.
Hell of an intro. I didn't know you've been watching me for that long, so it's appreciated.
Yeah, man. I found you at I go online and I check things out, and I said, oh, someone thinks they know the story of Black Ops 4. And then, dude, you crushed it. I mean, like you pulled things out. Like, what is your research pattern? Because you found stuff in Black Ops 4 that I didn't even know some of that stuff. And I wrote a lot of that too. I wrote a lot of it. Where the fuck? That makes a lot of sense. What is your source? Are you just a fucking genius or something?
Yeah, I don't have any inside sources or anything like that. It's just when I go through different like stories and stuff, yeah. I know all the games like the back of my hand, right? Like I've been playing this since I was 14, playing Call of Duty, and then Black Ops 1 is my favorite campaign of all time. So it's just kind of all in the back of my head, and then when I have an idea, I write something down, and then I try to make connections with it. And then with Black Ops 4, like there was no campaign, but it's got a lot of story in the game. Mm-hmm. It's just not front and center, right?
Yeah.
So with that, it was looking at a lot of the characters, looking at where they're from, how they're connected to other characters, and piecing that together. And then, yeah, well, Black Ops 4 was an interesting one. That's kind of when my channel blew up.
Yeah, well, I see why. I mean, because there's a lot of people had questions about it. It was confusing at best, yeah. And then you add in the transition into the Battle Royale format, in which we really tried to tie all that. How do you take all these disparate elements and tie them together? And quite honestly, there's half the times I got writing assignments, I didn't know what the fuck they were for. And they would say, okay, can you get us over to this point here? I go, yeah, sure. I don't know why. He goes, we don't either, but we need to get over here for this thing.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of the time with Call of Duty is they have this story, right? Like this big picture story. And then the last minute things is, okay, tie this into that, this into that, this into that. And that's kind of what my job is, to figure out how they try to do that. And a lot of the times it's really difficult. Sometimes it's front and center, but a lot of the times it's like I remember one for Black Ops 4 with one of the characters was like born in Japan, and then I found out that Brazil is the #1 place that people go from Japan to Brazil, and then these people could actually be related in the timeline match stuff. And like I remember finding that and being like, oh,
yeah, right. Well, I tell you, what I can give away from the inside of the house is that the boys over at Treyarch do their research. I mean, they bring in for every question there is, they bring in a professional historian on it. I mean, like John J. Plaster came in, who basically I based Woods off of his book Commandos, and then they had Ollie North over there. They had actual people contributing inside information, their experiences to the story. So a lot of what you get in the stories are from people who actually lived very parallel experiences. So there's a lot of that, and it doesn't surprise me there's a connection because they're always looking for a way to connect for connective tissue. Because that's where the Easter egg comes in, right? Oh, yeah. It's a connect. And we all have to be the one to find that little piece of. Oh, this means that. It's like Lost. You remember Lost? The show Lost.
Oh yeah.
Remember? Oh, what's behind that door? We got to get behind that door. Oh no, it's a hallway. What's down that hallway? It's a room. The connective tissue drives the narrative forward.
The sad thing with Lost is that writer's strike, man. I think Lost could have had one of the coolest stories in the world, and then they had that writer's strike.
Right.
Everything just seems sort of disjointed. But I mean, that's a whole other thing.
But where can you go though? After several years of mystery, like, all right, what happens when the clock stops? Oh, nothing. There's that. It's like when you answer the question, that's when the show ends. So the idea is, how do you perpetuate the question? How do you perpetuate the curiosity? Which I think a show like Lost did really well. For how many years they kept it going?
Well, like the first 3, they were like the biggest on TV at that time. Like they were huge. I remember watching at the time. It was that and Survivor that I watched all the time.
Survivor, right? And they're kind of like a parallel show too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they didn't kind of bring them together, bring the Survivor characters onto Lost and just really screw everybody's mind up,
I thought they were on a different island.
Well, it's the other side of the island. It's a temporal shift that brings them over there. Yeah. So, okay, let's talk personal stuff here. You're a Canadian.
Yeah.
We talked earlier. You're not far from Kitchener, Ontario. I hope I'm not outing you. Your name is Corey.
No, I used to live in Kitchener, Ontario.
Yeah, and we talked about the Rangers, Kitchener Rangers.
Where I grew up.
Yeah. Are you a hockey fan?
Yeah, I was a junior Ranger growing up.
You played hockey?
Yeah.
Dude,
from 2 to 18.
So you must be pretty good.
I'm Canadian, so it's kind of like
fuck you. Yeah, you and the fucking Russians. Like you just assume because you're Russian or Canadian, you're a good hockey player. Like that's so. You can't be racist, but yeah. Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I did I did a commercial up in Toronto, and I'm sitting in a makeup chair, and this is right around the time Matt Sundin was shipped off to Vancouver, and we're sitting in the chair, and the makeup girls are talking hockey, and it's not like these kids like they're talking hockey, they're talking breakouts, they're talking power plays. Who's in my place? I go, who are these people? And I start talking to them, and then they have the whole production company has their own team, right? So you work for this commercial production company, and you play on their hockey team. Like that's, and I finally say I grew up in the wrong country. I always say whenever I went to Canada, I'm in the wrong country.
Yeah, so we were talking. I didn't know you played hockey before today, and I was like, so cool. And then you coached. I was coaching after I was done playing, but
of course you did.
Yeah,
did you find the Wheaties commercial?
No, I couldn't find it.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, but you have to give me an honest opinion of the mullet, okay? I need the Americans. They do okay, but to get a Canadian opinion on a mullet it means everything to me. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Okay, let me get the. All right, here we are. All right. Don't laugh at me.
I gotta see the mullet, man.
I want to give you a full screen here, so you don't have to worry about. Okay, here we go. Come on. All right. See, I have There we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Boys got what it takes. Fall till dawn out holy flakes. Nothing halfway. Just a quick
This fucking idiot.
I mean, that's the definition of hockey here right there.
Wheelies, good homes. Now go to your mama. What the big boys.
That is some hockey hair right there.
That it's a good mullet. Come on, that's a.
It's some good mullet. See, when I was playing, the mullets were out, and then like the flow was in, right? So you still had the hockey hair. It just wasn't business in the front, you know. It was just only party.
Wow, that happened. I liked it. That was a good time for hockey here. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yager kind of fucked it up for everybody. I think Yager got a little too high cut on his. You know.
Yeah, and then just downhill from there.
Yeah. I mean, I love Yager, and the Yager haircut. And he still has it, right? So he's rocked that for decades. But I think Yager kind of ruined it for the rest of us. You know, because how can you can't match him in any way, shape, or form, and you definitely can't match that mullet. So
it's like one of those things where like he did it, and then it was just too mainstream. You know.
Yes.
It was just everyone wanted it then.
Yeah, and who can replicate Yager? I mean, please. See it. So, how far did you go? Did you play junior Rangers? What happened? You just decided that it wasn't worth it. You got beat up too much. Because for me, it's physically grueling playing.
Oh yeah. So like around my last year of high school, I decided I wanted to play football too, and then I was better at track than I was at hockey or anything else like that.
What was your event on track?
I did 100-meter in relay.
Dude, you're like a fucking stud, man.
Yeah, my relay team had the record for Central Western Ontario. So yeah, we were pretty good. And then that year I tore my hamstring. That was football. So like I wasn't originally playing football, but I was doing track. So the football coach came out and said, "Hey, you're really fast. Come out and play football." But what I didn't know is I played offense, defense, and special teams. So like I was pretty small in high school, so like I didn't get off the field, and all of my plays were I played wide receiver, but my play was I do a jet, so I sprint, and then on kickoff I was the gunner, so I was sprinting, and then I was cornerback on defense, so I just ran so much I literally tore my hamstring. So it was my coach's fault, but
that's what happens. You overwork and you get tired, and just that one play, that one shift where you're not fresh, and you try to really grind in. Brother, ask me how I know. My entire life is like that.
Hockey. You get any bad hockey injuries?
Oh my God, dude! Throw a dart. I played pro for about 4 years. I'm not big. I'm like, I'm 5'11", 195 when I played. Yeah, that's not, but as a defenseman. And
that's what I played too.
And back in the day, you ran into people. It wasn't graceful. You ran into fuckers. You know what I mean? Like especially when you're small, you had to prove it to a coach that you can handle and just run it. And he dropped the gloves. And there's, I wasn't built for that. I was built to skate. And then I saw the writing on the wall. I got in a couple games with in the American Hockey League for the Whalers, but it wasn't happening. As an American, I wasn't drafted. I was 21, 22. I was old at that point,
Yeah.
And I got an opportunity to go to Europe, and I played in Belgium for a year. We won the national championships. They gave me other opportunities in Europe. That was great because huge rinks, skate all day. Nobody wants to hit any. We had agreement. All the import players, we don't hit each other. We just you let up in the corners. The guys from the Eastern Bloc we'd hit, but the Americans and Canadians. But hey, man, and some new kid can go over. I go, dude, relax. You got 33 games. You got 2 games a weekend. Enjoy yourself. This is not you're not going to make the show. It's not going to happen. All right. So you're here with us. Enjoy it. It's fucking great.
That's awesome. And then coaching after that. You enjoyed coaching then?
I love coaching.
Yeah, I didn't think so after I was done high school, I went to school to be a paramedic, and then I went and was a trainer for hockey, but I would help out with coaching and stuff too, right? Because it was just 13, 14-year-olds. So a couple years before their draft year. Yeah. And I loved it, man. I loved it.
Well, I can see it. I can actually, now you say that, I can see it in the way you do your videos, because you're very you break things down to very simple terms. That's from being a coach, because you absorb it and you got to kind of break things down so they're easily understood. And that's how I actually hear you when you're, which I think why I'm so attracted to what you do, is because like you have a coach-like demeanor. You know, it's like, here's
like, and especially with like Black Ops 4 is a great example. Like some of the Call of Duty games, they make confusing, and if you don't really like break it down to the simple parts, it's hard to understand. And a lot of the times they tell the story out of order, right? Which screws with a lot of people. But if you put it in a different order than they put it, it's like, oh yeah, that's how that lines up.
Yes. Great. Yeah, I coached. I coached for 25 years. I had a hockey school. I coached a program in New York City for a long time called Sky Rink, and it was a rink on the 32nd floor. We were the penthouse. We were the penthouse.
Cool.
And
that doesn't exist here.
Well, it doesn't exist there anymore either. It's permanent, but we were like one block from the garden. And I go up in my office. I go out the window, and had a rooftop office, and I had the Hudson River. Best job I ever had, man.
That is so cool.
And then I had full run of the rink, because I was basically the director of hockey there. And I had my guys, and I would bring teams in. We'd play like the rink was mine 1 to 4 o'clock in the morning, and we would train and skate every day of the week. And then we go to Europe, play some. I had connections in Europe, so we'd take teams, go play in Europe, Iceland. We've been all over Europe playing hockey. Cool. But it's like you have your own rink, dude. You imagine having your own rink. Do whatever the fuck you want, and you get paid on
the 32nd floor of a building too.
It's unbelievable. It's great. Yeah, and I did that. I had a residential training center in Massachusetts. I brought kids in to train full time. Had a hockey school in Mexico City, one in Monterey, and in Quebec, in Bromont. My summer school was in Bromont. So we did well. It was a good little industry thing. Hey, let's get to the important stuff here. Let's talk about this little guy. This little guy, because we have something in common, you and I. This little fella right here. This guy. Dexter.
The little guy, yes. Unfortunately, he's not here. He's with my mom. It's my mom's birthday, and my mom wanted to spend time with him on her birthday. So, but
here's my little guy.
Oh my God.
He's fresh. He's brand new. He's fresh out of the thing. Well, he belongs to my girlfriend. But look at that little guy. Oh my God. I love him so much.
So how old now?
He's probably almost 4 months now. No, he's 10 weeks. He's 10 weeks old. They've had him 3 weeks. He's new. He's new. This is like maybe 2 weeks ago. Let me show you. Go ahead.
Mine, he's 5 months now, and he's up to 53 pounds already.
He's fit.
Oh, there he is.
Oh my God, he's just unbelievable. Look at this guy. Look at this handsome little bastard. Oh my God. Oh, I love him so much. He's great.
He's awesome.
Is that your backyard?
No, that's we went for a little hike. It's not far from where I am, but yeah, that was his first time ever being off leash on a walk, and he loved it.
Oh my God. Was he hard to house train?
Not really. I think it took, I got him at 8 weeks, and I think it was about 3 weeks to a month later, he was barking at the door to get out.
So what was your training method? How did you do it? Like basically what was your methodology?
So at first, when I first got him, the only time he would go is if I took him for a walk. That was the only way he would go.
Really?
So I would go for a walk. He'd pee outside, give him a treat every single time. Tell him he's a good boy. And then eventually, once it snowed, as soon as it started to snow, he would go into the backyard and pee. So just every time he went out there, give him a treat. And then I have had no problems. The only problem I have with him is he tries to eat everything. Like, so this was about a month ago. I'm laying downstairs on the couch, and he comes barreling down the stairs and has a sock in his mouth. And at the time, I was just letting him have socks because he just kind of carry them around and like, look what I got. And so I'm laying on the couch, and then all of a sudden I hear him start gagging. I'm like, what the hell? And I realize he's trying to swallow it. So I go grab him, and by the time I grab him, it's already gone. So I'm like, oh crap. So I take him to the emergency room, and they induce vomiting. And the way that it's set up right now is I can't go in, and he's just in there by himself.
Oh no.
So this lady comes out, like the nurse, or I don't know what you call them when they work for a vet, comes out, and I'm sitting in the car. I open the door, and she goes, yeah, so here's 3 of your socks. I'm like, 3? What do you mean 3? So ever since I don't wear socks.
I'm laughing because we're going through the same thing. This little guy, he eats everything. You know, and he's not. This is a recent picture of him. He's a king now. He thinks he's a king. He just says he eats everything, man. I mean everything.
Oh, yeah. You go for a walk and you're like, I didn't know this much garbage existed outside. You're like, where did you find that? Like, that's not there.
No, he comes back with different kind of leaves and branches. And I kept saying, like, don't spend a lot of money on toys because everything's a toy.
Oh, yeah.
Trees, branches.
And they like the things that aren't the toys better than the toys.
Boxes.
Oh, boxes. Boxes are, yeah. I get something from Amazon and it's like, that's for me. I'm like, well, the boxes.
That, and he likes plastic bottles too because they're crunchy.
Yeah, so does Dex. Same thing.
Casey and Dex. It's not like a TV show, doesn't it? Casey and Dex.
Well, I named Dexter after Dexter, the TV show.
Of course you did. I knew that.
I love that show, man.
Unbelievable. So listen, let's talk more about your craft.
Sure.
You're good. I mean, you're, and I don't mean that. I mean in a professional sense. Your editing is extraordinary. Your timing. How much time do you spend on these video?
It depends on the video. So like a lot of the story videos, I'll have an idea and then I'll write stuff down. Like if whatever it is, whatever if I'm doing the story of Frank Woods, I'll know his story in my head, but I don't write a script. I never write a script. Never. I don't do well with scripts. But I'll like have bullet points of I need to cover this, I need to cover that. And then in my head, this is the same thing I did when I was in school with presentations and stuff. I kind of put together a flow to it. So with Frank Wood's story, how do I want to do it? What part of the story do I want to tell first? Do I want to do it chronologically? Do I want to show the part where he shoots Mason first, and how did we get there? Like what do I want to do with that? And then I'll come up with that idea, and then I'll have it going in my head. And then when I edit, which a lot of people don't do, is I'll record a section of audio and then edit that section, and record a section of audio and then edit that section. Whereas a lot of people record the whole audio and then edit that together. Or
vice versa. They did the audio video, then they put the audio underneath it. Yeah.
But I do it section by section, and I like that because that's how I picture it. I picture it. I don't know. Maybe it's weird.
So how many passes do you make on the narration?
Normally one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's one take.
Normally, yeah. Sorry. It's not one take. Like it's in sections. So I'll talk about like where Woods came from. He came from Philadelphia, and then go through that, and then that's like a 30-second snippet, and then I stop the recording, and then I do the next 30 seconds.
Okay.
Generally, that's one, unless Dexter barks while I'm talking, or yeah. So that, and then the editing is what takes a long time. It's that's the tough part. And
what do you edit on?
I use Sony Vegas, which I don't recommend. I recommend Premiere if you're going to get in.
Are they sponsoring you?
No.
Good.
It's a crappy program. Like it crashes all the time, but that's what I learned on, and that's what I can do it the fastest on. So that's what I use. But
I get that. Yeah. I mean, have you ever used like the Adobe Suite and those kind of things?
Well, so I use like Photoshop and that stuff for everything else, but Premiere Pro, it just works different than Vegas. So like I've tried learning it, and I would have to take like a week and learn it, and I just don't have time. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. I operate off of GarageBand. I use iMovie, and you know I was trained on Final Cut, but I just know how to use iMovie. I'm fast on it, and I don't have some capabilities, but from what I'm doing, it's a little different than what you're doing because I'm not really. You are working, man. Like when you do something, you fucking. I mean, we think 2 weeks per video.
No, not normally. For example, like I try to get story videos up on Sundays. I'll generally start it on Friday. Then I work
Really?
like 10 hours a day on it, and then
Yeah. So you're doing at least 20 hours per video minimum.
yeah, it's like I said, it's the editing. Like if I've looked for an editor, and I don't know if I'm a control freak or if what it is, but I just feel like they won't do as good of a job as me. So yeah. I mean, there's some amazing, like I got a guy who does thumbnails for me, and like I'm just like I can't get that good if I try at Photoshop. Like some people artistically are out of this world, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, especially if they are specific, and have a very specific skill set, and they're good at it. Yeah. What's the end game for you? Where's this going?
I have no idea, man. So if you go back, I don't even know, 3-4 years, I said that I'd never do YouTube full time. I said I wanted to be a firefighter or a paramedic, and I kind of did that, and then YouTube took off, and I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. Actually, know what it was at the time is I was working for Pepsi, and the Pepsi plant shut down. And I'm like, that was right at the time my channel was blowing up. I went from 100,000 to 200,000 subscribers in a month.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, let's give this a shot. And then I've done it as my job ever since.
Now, you said, what was the video you think, or the series of videos that kind of put you over the edge? What was the thing that, because there's a snap, and all of a sudden everything just fucking happens.
So I actually don't think it was one thing. I think you're right in that there's always a snap with certain series or things like that. And the first one was Black Ops 3 Things You Don't Know About the Game. So going through testing different stuff and things like that, that was the first thing that blew up. And then after that, I did the evolution of Call of Duty. So that was like talking about where Call of Duty started and where it is now. And then what really blew up my channel, the 100%, like 400,000 subscribers to 1 million, was the story stuff. And I think for 2 reasons, not really anyone was doing it. Mm-hmm. And the people who were doing it, I thought I saw it, and it sounds cocky, but I was like, I could do that better. Mm-hmm. Right. So then I did that, and then it blew up. Frank Woods was one of the first ones I did, that Captain Price. And people loved them. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because you hear their stories told in the game and you play through them, but you don't normally hear them told so simply. So yeah, that's really what blew it up.
What I see is that, you know what Cliff Notes are? Yeah. You're kind of the Cliff Notes of the game for people. Like, instead of spending 6 hours and trying to figure it out, you've done the work. That's what
I do. I try to figure it out, and then I try to, how do we make them understand this?
That's the coach in you. Like I said, that's your coach. That's you being a coach. You boil it down to the essence and you present it to them. For me, like I use you that way too, man. I use you like, oh, what's going on with this character? I will use you. I use you as a resource. This is why I'm thinking, which I want to get you on the show, because I'm like, fuck, this guy really can break things down in a very understandable and digestible format in 20 minutes. I just watched one the other day. I think your new one about the Call of Duty campaign explained in 20 minutes, something like that. It was brilliant because you did it in like 19 minutes and 35 seconds. And I can give you 20 minutes. I can't spend 12 hours playing through a game and trying to figure this shit out. But I can listen to you for 20 minutes.
One of the hardest ones to do that with was Black Ops 3. I don't know. Have you played the campaign for Black Ops 3?
It's crazy.
So I could honestly make a 2-hour video trying to explain to you the whole thing. I really could. Yeah. But to put it into 20 minutes was not easy. And it's still, I felt like there's got to be a way I can make this make more sense, because that game's all over the place. But like when you make it, like the thing with that game, man, is if you make it simple, it's actually a good story. But they made it so complex that it was like no one understood it. Yeah. You know? And that's where Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, they're the best two stories in campaigns.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, hands down.
Yeah.
I really like the Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2 as well. But what Black Ops 1 and 2 do is they tell this complex story with twists in it in a way that's digestible. That's not, you don't have to like look up one of my videos to be like, what really just happened there? I mean, there is that twist in Black Ops 1 with what's going on in Mason's head, but at the same time, you're like, oh my God, it was there the whole time.
What do you attribute that to? Like what do you attribute the ease of understanding that to? What aspect of the writing, what aspect of the storytelling do you think makes it so digestible?
A really good question. So it's kind of a tangent of the answer, but I think things can be confusing, but I think it needs to be confusing in a way where people want to know the answers. With Black Ops 3, people didn't care. People didn't care about these characters that they've seen once. But in Black Ops 1, the story was focused on Mason. But Frank Woods, was the personality. That's where the two characters were different. Frank Woods had the personality. Mason had the story. It's his head that you're in, right? Mm-hmm. And because you cared about Woods, you also cared about Mason, and you wanted to figure out where this happened, what happened to Woods at the end of the game. You cared. And I think that's it with most, like, not just games, with movies and TV shows.
Yes.
You gotta care about the characters. Has to be, they gotta be charismatic, or you just have to care. And like one example is the Modern Warfare that just came out. Farah. I think Farah's story is amazing, but I don't think she was as charismatic as Alex. So her story is really good, but everyone cared about Alex because it was just more charismatic. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's just the way I look at it. I don't know.
That's a great answer. That's a really great answer. I'd say from the inside of it, Black Ops 1 and 2 are basically one story.
Yeah.
We went right from Black Ops 1 into meetings almost immediately. There's a decompression time because these guys basically kill themselves in September and November, and then they need about 8 weeks to get their health back because Dave Anthony almost died at the end of Black Ops 2. He literally had pneumonia and almost died.
Oh my God!
This is what's so interesting about the games. Like at Treyarch, they had cots set up and they had 3 kitchens there, and sometimes these guys do not leave for days on end.
That's crazy.
It's because it's so. Remember, every pixel has got to be accounted for. It's a massive amount of information and a massive effort. And then there's all types of controls and things that have to be implemented. Censorships and approvals. So it's a constant. We're shooting right up to the last. You have like a kill date where if they don't get it out by this date, it will not be shipped because they need a certain amount of time, especially back in the day when they're doing DVDs. Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say now they can put out cutscenes and updates and stuff, but when Black Ops 1 was out, that wasn't really an option, right?
No, and even Black Ops 2 was still hard copy. So making modifications is a really difficult thing, and I think that adds to it as well, where you've got to have an endpoint. When you can keep adding updates, there's less demand for discipline. We'll fix it later. Let's get this. So it allows you less. It allows you not to be as specific. And I think the second thing that happened was, I think the world changed politically. They had to start adding in more features, they want to expand the cast. Where it's very clear you have a villain, you have a hero, and then you have the support around those two characters. Now it's more nebulous. Black Ops 3, there's like, who's the villain? Who's the
the great question with Black Ops 3.
Who's the antagonist? Who's fighting? And it's that confusion that we get where we are right now. It really it sort of replicates society as like, who are the bad guys? Everyone has their own platform, has their own narrative, and they could be totally in opposition to each other. Where's the truth? What is the truth? And and Black Ops 4 is just kind of, now it's all battle. So I think it really reflects society, because they what I remember is that they had a lot of emphasis on making this sort of global. How do we make it global? How do we?
That's always the thing with them.
And a lot of stuff I used to contribute as a writer, you just got shot down. You can't say that. You can't do that. You can't say that. That's not okay. And that's like, oh wow, that's so I think that really limits the ability to tell a story in the succinct, very direct way you're talking about.
Totally agree. I've talked, so like every once in a while, well, before all this crap happened in 2020, every once in a while we go down to the studio and I'd talk to some of the developers and stuff. And everyone would always be talking to the multiplayer developers, and I would go off and talk to one of the story guys, right? Like, it's just my thing. And I'd always ask, like how many ideas are there out there that just never get the green light? And they're like, oh man, like millions.
Almost all of them. Almost all of them do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just think they have to dilute a lot of the narrative so it can be much more expansive and more inclusive, and that becomes, and when you start being more inclusive, you have more restrictions. Well, you can't say this, you can't do that. Oh, we can't have this. And a lot of the things that for me, there's two things that make it interesting. One is taking a chance that the viewer is intelligent and they'll figure it out. And then playing a character with vulnerability, with you've got to see where their flaws are, and you got to see them battle.
Totally agree.
And you got to see the character basically fight the outside adversary, but it's more about who's the character battling on the inside. And with Woods, that was always paramount to the character. I read John Plaster's book. I've known soldiers. I've spent time with cops and firemen. I know these kind of personnel, hockey players. Mm-hmm. There's the warrior sense is but there's always a vulnerability there. Like, you care. That's your vulnerability. You actually care about the outcome. And with Woods, it's always about, and as a hockey coach, I built in the idea that I never want someone to feel like they're being shamed for what they're doing. So I say, hey, fuck, you can fucking do this. It's always in a proactive, hey, I fucking believe in you, but God damn it, it's like, it's not about you calling someone an asshole. It's like, hey, I believe in you, but this needs to happen now. It's support with push.
See, and that's one thing I love about Black Ops 1, and you see it in Black Ops 2 as well, is that Wood's whole story isn't told through the story, it's told through his personality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like his lines, how he delivers them, how he interacts with Mason. I have a video coming out on the interaction between Woods and Mason. And it's so good. And like, we're going to talk later, but one of the questions I have for you is like, did you have contact with Mason? Was like, how did that work?
That's a great story. We'll save it for your show. That's a great story.
Okay.
We'll save that for you. Well, okay. So we're kind of doing a divided show here today because we both we have time limits because it is Valentine's Day, and so we're going to do an hour here. Then we're going to switch over and continue on, I guess, our talk. It's a great talk onto Inkslasher's platform. So
yeah, I'm going to record it and edit it up. It'll hopefully be up tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yeah. So Woods was a very consciously crafted character. I mean, I have a playlist, sort of a channel on my channel of like how I became Woods, and it's there's a video of it started off as a shit show. The whole thing was I almost didn't take the job, and then I didn't have enough understanding of the size of the video game to have reverence. So I'm very irreverent anyways, but I was really irreverent when it came to like, oh fuck, Woods is not gonna fucking say this, and it's like. So a lot of the stuff you get from the Woods character is me in the room, because that's my whole acting style. Like, I'm talking to the actor across from me. I'm not talking to a character. I'm not saying lines. I'm communicating a message to you. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
And that's where the magic. That's where Kamar Del Reyes and I just kind of, because I saw something happening and it's like, oh, my stuntman was trying to do a scene because they were afraid of hurting me, and I go. And the scene wasn't working. I go, oh, fuck this. Let me fucking do it. And then Kamar and I basically almost come to blows in the scene, but it just made this electricity. And then, I just, I wasn't going to be passive after I got my knee shot out. I like wrestling with him and shit. And he's like, he's got used to him just being dominant. I fucking grab him, like, fuck you. Like, and then I start throwing punches. He fucking headbutts me. Like, yes, this fucking guy is an actor. And from that point on, we're like, man, two of us, we want to work together all the time. It's a relationship. And with David Mason, Rich McDonald, I recruited him. We're on a film together where basically we played the same relationship. It's called SEAL Patrol. And I played Locke, Colonel Locke, an ex-Marine, and now a mercenary, and he's working for me. So we have this almost father-son kind of contentious relationship that had great affection but great contention. And then we just carried that over right into Black Ops 2. And when he got the gig, and this is going to be, because now, he and I have a personal relationship. I'm a little older than he was, and and we both, it was the relationship between Rich and I that bled through into the game. That's why that relationship is so interesting, because it's.
Yeah, I like to call it Uncle Woods.
Uncle Woods, we love Uncle Woods. We love Uncle Woods.
Yeah, that's what made Woods so good, right? Was the personality and how he interacted with the other characters. Because in both games, Black Ops 1, it was Mason's story that you were in, right? Like, you were the personality in Mason's story. And then it was a bit different in Black Ops 2 because you were also kind of like a narrator telling the story of what happened in the past. But it was also you in David Mason's story. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. Like I said, those are my two favorite stories.
I find talking to the fans, like, that relationship is really compelling. Even going to Black Ops 4 with those few little cutscenes there, those are still very compelling scenes. Like, that relationship is really compelling.
Oh, I got questions about Savannah Mason later on.
I'll bet you do. There's a lot of great backstory in that whole thing came together. It was just a crazy fest. I mean, it came out not out of the blue, but it happened in a really specific way. And so, hey, are you following pro gaming at all? Call of Duty gaming? Yeah.
I'm actually partnered with CDL to bring some videos out for them and stuff.
Look at you, man. So, what are you going to do with all this? Because, again, here's me being a coach, looking at you. And I've been in this business for like almost 20 years now, right? And I realized that you got to have an idea down the road. Like riding a bike, you look down, you fall down. You're doing something right now. You're doing it right. You're kind of doing it. You're getting better at it. But at some point, you got to look down and see what the next turn is. What would you want to do? What would you want to turn this into? Do you have aspirations of being like a film director, or being doing your own, creating your own content? I mean, in terms of an original story, original idea. What is that for you? Any idea?
Lately, so it's weird. The one thing that came to mind when you said that is I love the writing part of it, which is so weird because I hated writing in high school. I hated writing.
Sure.
Anything. But after doing this, one of the main things I think I focus on is like how the stories are written and why they're good because of how they're written. And as I've done it more, I'm like, well, I could do this. It's a lot of I already I work so much. A lot of people don't see that with YouTube and streaming and stuff. They don't realize how much work goes into 15-20 minute video. And I do 5 a week normally. Not all of them are the depth of the story videos, but it's still a lot of work, man.
Well, that's kind of my point, is that you, at some point, you're young and you have energy. It's sustainable, but there's got to be a bigger reward at the end of the table. And speaking to you as a writer, just start. There's no perfect sentence. You just start writing and keep writing, but you can't wait for inspiration. You got to make it into an activity every day, 1 hour a day. Pick an hour and that's what you do for an hour is write. And it doesn't matter what you write, dude. it will find the story will find you. And I always say the story will always find you. Just pick an hour, man. Pick an hour a day and just sit down and just start writing. It doesn't.
What we were talking about before is you were asking like how many takes it takes for me to do the audio or whatever. Part of my thing is like I don't write scripts for my videos or anything like that. It's all in my head.
Yeah.
I'm probably never gonna write scripts for my videos. I've done it before and it sounds too mechanical and I don't like it. But I think like on the other side of things, if I start doing that, that's where I'll actually get better as a writer as opposed to. But I don't know. I would love to write a video game.
You said a really important thing, and I'll backtrack to it. You said in high school, writing was you hated it.
Oh, I hated it.
Well, the reason is because you weren't writing about shit you cared about.
True. Yeah.
And that's always. And I have a thing on Tuesday mornings called Sarge's Coffee. It's kind of a mentoring show, and I always say, look, you've got to give yourself a place to start. Start with something you like. Start with something easy. You know, like as a writer. You can't write about something you don't care about because it's work. But think about something you want to write about, and that's easy. Then you don't have enough time in the day to do that. And for you, I say you seem like you have a bunch of good ideas percolating around, but a lot of resistance to it. And I think you just
part of it is what we said, right? It's just the time, right? Like I'm already working. Depends on the week, 60 hours a week. It's hard to set also another hour aside to do something like that.
Well, I couldn't. I try to explain to people like I can literally wake up, go to work, and pass out at my desk, and still not have gotten everything done for the day. And I'm a pretty productive guy, but it's just when you're creative and when you're, it's like wow, I have so much I want to get done right now, and there's just not enough hours in the day. So that means I have to be more disciplined at what I choose. Like this one, I say,
that's what I'm bad at. That is exactly what I'm bad at. Yeah. So I got a perfect example of this. So when I started doing this full time, I was also training to be a paramedic. And the way that it works here is while you're training, you have classes. So you have about 30 hours of classes a week, and you work as a paramedic. So 12-hour shifts 2-3 times a week. The week of my final exams for the whole thing, I had to go to LA for YouTube stuff. I had 6 exams in a week.
Oh,
I had 2 rideouts, 12-hour rideouts, 24 hours of rideouts. And in that week, I slept for 8 hours in a week. And because I was also making YouTube videos at the same time as I was studying for 6 exams, as I was working as a paramedic. And the end of the week came, and I got home at 6 a.m. from the last rideout. Last shift as a paramedic, and I fell asleep and slept for 20 hours. Yeah. I woke up a day later and was like, where am I? When am I? Like,
there are so many times where I've woken up not knowing what day it was.
Oh, it's a weird feeling, man. It's a weird feeling.
What's interesting is that you can now share when you start writing that story. Now you understand everybody who's ever gone through military hell week.
I don't understand that.
Oh, no, but you do, because the idea like you're juggling so much, you're pushing your body, you're going without sleep, you're trying to focus, and then all of a sudden when it's over, it's about decompression. So that's the beauty. That's what you write about. That you actually understand many things because you've pushed. Again, that I think that comes from being an athlete. I think team sport guys.
That's honestly, being an adult, the thing I miss the most is team sports. There's nothing compares to it, man. There's nothing like the competitive nature of it, and like working alongside your brothers, right? Like I miss that so much.
Yeah. Well, that's the common story of everybody who retire. I did, even when I was a coach, you're surrounded by people, right?
Yeah.
You're all trying, and you have a common agreement. We're all trying to do this. So it removes a lot of argument because we're all going we're all going there. How do we get there the best way? Okay, what's my job? You know what? My job may be going to the corner, digging the puck out and getting the puck to that guy. He's going to get all the glory, but if I don't dig that puck out, we don't score goals. Yeah. So you think more group than personal. And that selflessness is infectious. When the whole team, one of my coaching points was you can either ask the team, right, to demand that someone, give you the puck, or you can make sure that you take care of the other 5 guys. Your focus is to make every other guy's game better. And you trust that you have 4 guys trying to do the same thing for you.
That's the best part about it.
So which is going to be better for you? Sit there and be selfish and demand everyone do something for you, and they're all doing the same thing. Nothing happens. Or commit yourself to making everyone else have a better day and trust they're doing this. You're going to have 4 people working for you instead of you working for yourself. You can't beat that. That to me is – and what's great about doing my gig with Call of Duty is that's what it felt like. That's what every day on set felt like, being on the team. Like I had a story, like me and Dave Anthony. Like we were really tight through this whole thing. And the last day of recording for Black Ops 4, we literally sat in the back of the studio had a little table and little kind of a relaxation area outside. We grabbed it. We sat there and like. It was done. Black Ops 4 was done. It's in the can. And we didn't want to leave. Like, fuck. If we go, it's over forever. We're literally holding on to the moment for the later set. I go, if we leave, if we get in those fucking cars, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I know, but it's done. It's over. And it was just one of the hardest moments of my life. Okay, well, we got to call it, one more beer. That's, but it's like that feeling of building something with somebody else and that connection. There's nothing else like it.
The best example I have of that is playing hockey when I was 18. I knew it was my last year of hockey. I knew after this, it's done. We went to provincials. It was a 2-year team. So 17, under 18, 17, 18-year-olds. And we won provincials. And we're all partying in the dressing room, right? Having a good time. And there's the 4 of us who are always in the dressing room last. We shower up. We're drinking, even though we're not supposed to be, right? Legal drinking ages here is 19.
Yeah.
18's close enough, especially when you just won provincials. And, I remember our coach coming in the room and goes, "Guys, I'm coaching next year. Get the hell out of the room. Guys that are done this year, have a good time. See you later." And I remember sitting in that room and with the 4 guys I'd played hockey with for past 4 or 5 years, and just being like, "This is it. This is never happening again. Like we'll play beer league together, but this is never happening again."
Yeah, it's over. It's I try this as the thing I say when I do birthday greetings. Look at happy birthday, but make this year count because you don't get to do it again, man. Like a moment like that, it's over. Junior hockey, it's over. It's done. It's gone forever. Like, holy shit! It goes by so fast. Let's see. I think my 1-year anniversary of the Livestream is the 21st of March.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
shit! Like a year, does it?
It feels like it was like I started 3 months ago, right? I started no, it was almost a year ago. It goes by so fast. Yeah, many things. Hey, I want to show you a picture because we're friends now. Hang on, I got to show you a picture here. Look at this guy. Hang on, where are you? Where'd it go? Okay, hang on.
Oh yeah. That hair, that is a good mullet.
Come on, that's a Division I mullet, as we say. That's a look at that mullet. Oh my god! And that shit went. I mean, down to the middle of my back. That went down below my shoulder pads. Like that was down. Like it would come down. But I had to pull my hair out of my shoulder pads and put them on. That's how long it was. But the high cut, the ears right there. Oh yeah. That was. I was going. That was 80. 85, I think, 86. I was trying to go after the Yager look, but
see, I feel like part of the reason why people did that is when you have that, it almost looks like you're skating faster. You look aerodynamic.
Yes! I look like I'm flying, right? I wasn't.
Really, you're just standing there in a crossover. You're not even moving anyway, but it looks like
it makes you streamlined and faster looking. I know, unbelievable. Look at that kid. Anyways, I want to see your hockey pictures, man. You got to show me some hockey pictures.
I gotta find them, man. I'm working on something for 1 million subscribers, and it's kind of like my life story. because I don't really have much about that on the internet. It's all about Call of Duty, and but I'm working on something for that. But it's taken forever, so I'm going through all my old shit and all the old videos and stuff.
So you want to take a few questions?
Sure.
You mind? All right. All right, guys, click in. You know what to do. You've done this before. The marvelous Inkslasher. I'm going to call you Slasher because you're a hockey player. You fucking Slasher. You know, I am so happy you are an actual hockey player.
Oh yeah.
You know, because my manager for many years, I hired him because he played hockey. And there's you can tell when the guys played hockey because there's certain language they use that's authentic. And we're sitting down, and this kid, like, he says, he goes, oh, we're talking. I go, he goes, I played hockey. I go, where'd you play hockey? He goes, Avon Old Farms. I go, Avon Old Farms is a prep school, and it's like one of the top hockey schools. And guys can
really?
Oh my God, yeah, it's put a lot of guys in the NHL. Like, if you know hockey in the States, you know Avon Old Farm. It's one of the best prep schools for hockey in the country. You know, Mike Richter went there.
We don't have like the whole prep school thing. So when I was in high school, a guy I played hockey with, he went to a prep school in the States, and at the time, I didn't really know what that was. Right? Like the only one we have here, to my knowledge, is one in Toronto. I can't remember the name of it.
Right.
That's the only one I know of here, and you're basically already going to the NHL if you go there. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's like Shattuck St. Mary. Yeah. Well, who went there? The guy who plays in Pittsburgh is pretty good. He lived with Mario Lemieux for a while.
It's a while ago.
No, it's not. He plays right now. What the hell is his name?
Are you talking about Crosby?
Yeah.
Oh,
that guy plays in Pittsburgh.
Did
Crosby.
he play with Lemieux?
He went there. There's so many guys in the NHL that went to Shattuck St. Mary's and prep school hockey. It's like it's a good brand of hockey. All right, let's go. Who's here? Let's talk to Manuel. Get in here, buddy. Say hi.
What's up? Hello, Inkslasher.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. I've been following you since the start of before Modern Warfare, like September 2019.
Right on. That's awesome.
Awesome videos, man. Awesome videos. I watched your recent one, and it just gave me more ammo on the fact that they rushed the story.
Are you talking about the video?
The Black Ops Cold War.
Comparing it to Black Ops 1 story?
And I think they rushed the story, and they missed so much opportunities.
Oh, I agree with that.
And they, instead of making it like a more noir stuff, like finding out who Perseus was or if it was an organization, it's like, no, many miscues.
Yeah. So the thing with that is what I was hoping for out of Black Ops Cold War was we were going to get answers about like why Frank Woods was captured at the beginning of Black Ops 2, what happened to him after he jumped out that window. And I've said it before. I said it on stream the first time I played the game. It's not a Black Ops game. It doesn't continue the story of Woods and Mason. They're just in the story. It's not their story at all. It's all about Adler. And the Adler story is decent, but they labeled it Black Ops to sell more copies is what they did.
And I think, well, in my personal opinion, I think they messed up in combining it with the Modern Warfare series, because then you're forcing Black Ops 2 to be the continuation of the Modern Warfare within it. And if you see in Black Ops 2, there's a big technological gap. It's like 2025, you have drones, you have like all these digital screens. We're in 2021 and we don't have anything like that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to end up retconning a bunch of stuff, but we'll see what happens with that. It's an interesting idea to put them together, but as we were talking about before, I think there's gonna be a lot of writing into corners that we're gonna end up seeing.
Man, well, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. Got more people gun.
All right, see you soon.
Come now, buddy. Talk to you soon. Almost easy. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great right now.
How's it going, dude?
Yeah, Corey, I just want to say I'm a big fan,
Appreciate it.
And don't want to take up too much time. Just kind of here to say hi. But, for a while, I've been pretty much convinced that you work for Treyarch, and just like your level of research for each character is insane.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. A lot of the times people think I got inside sources, and it's not. It's just a lot of googling.
Yeah.
No, it shows. Like it's crazy. Just the pieces of the puzzle you put together. It's awesome.
A lot of the times it's just guessing, but educated guesses, right? Like they
Yeah,
put
for
things
sure.
in the game on purpose, right? So
Mhm.
if I can get to point A to point B, they probably did too.
All right, easy. I'm gonna let you go, buddy. Peace and love.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank
See
you.
you. Bye.
Have a good one.
Let's see who we got next. It's J Security. How we doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey,
Doing well. My
being on, first time being on stream. Kind of exciting.
All right. You got a question for my friend Slasher here?
Yeah, I do have a question. So you mentioned that you were in paramedic school.
Yep.
Did you actually go in the field? Or
yeah.
was it just training?
So the way it works here is so it's 2 years of school, and then after your first 6 months, you start doing ride outs. So you have someone you work with, and I think you do 6 for the first year, and then after that, you basically do as many as you can within your schedule, which, as I was saying, was busy. But yeah, like I basically worked under someone for like a year, and then I was done it, and then like I'm certified here to be a paramedic now if I want to be. But yeah, I basically worked as one for like a year.
Awesome.
Such a badass. Love it.
You guys keep up the good work out staying on stream.
All right, Security. Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming
Have a
in.
good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Take a couple more here. Who's next? Let's see. We have No Name. All right, sure. No Name. What's up?
Oh wow. Today, well, before I even ask my questions, I want to say 2 things. Hello, Inkslasher. I love your videos, and
Appreciate it.
yeah, and I'm the don't find this offensive, but I'm the one person in all of Canada who doesn't like hockey.
Ooh.
Oh, you're the one.
The
You're
one.
the one. I've
Careful
heard
what
about
you say, man. They might deport you.
Yeah. Well, and also, I would also like to apologize. I couldn't tune in for most of the streams because so far now it's
Are you
no
Quebec?
more
What?
homework. Now
Quebec?
it's like
Are you from Quebec?
yeah, Quebec, yeah, Laval, and it's
Laval.
like now
Laval. Yeah. Yeah.
now it's no more homework, only projects and orals, and it's just oh my god, don't even get me started. But yeah, and I just
Don't
have
get me started. I love it, the Quebec accent. Don't get me started. I love it. Oh my God, I love it so much.
And I guess I have 2 questions for you.
Ask.
All right. Well, first of all, do you think Roach is gonna come back in Modern Warfare 2?
I mean, they brought back pretty much everyone else. I would assume so, right? Like he was a
Honestly,
character
Roach
in Modern Warfare 2, so it would make sense if they're doing a second one to have him there.
Roach is underrated. I'm just gonna say it. But and the second one is there ever gonna be like a backstory for Samantha Maxis or the backstory of Dexter?
My dog?
Yes.
I'm sure we can do something with Dexter. He loves being on camera.
Okay.
But Samantha Maxis, that's probably the question I get asked the most right now. I don't like most of my knowledge is in the campaign, so I'm not saying no, but it would take a lot of work to do. So eventually, maybe.
I know, man. I'm gonna kick you off, buddy.
Wait. Before I do that,
Yeah.
For all you memers out there, meme lords, in the campaign, if you actually talk to Hudson in the Cold War campaign, well, not Hudson, but Woods. At one point, Woods calls Hudson a wet blanket. So no more, I'm a goddamn onion, Mason. More, I'm a goddamn wet blanket. So yes, goodbye.
All right. Thanks for putting it out there, No Name.
Yeah.
Au revoir. Me. That's funny. Nuke availability. What's up, man?
Yo,
Nuke.
what's up, yo?
How's it going?
I'm doing great. So I've been looking for this blueprint in Warzone. I was wondering if y'all guys have an answer for me. It's called Lonely Lagoon. I don't know if y'all guys know about it, but it's a contraband blueprint. Inkslasher probably knows what I'm
I have
talking
no
about.
idea.
You have no idea. But yeah, basically me and my squad been looking for a long time. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm a big fan, y'all. Inkslasher, I'm a huge fan. I've been watching you since Black Ops 4. James, obviously, great voice actor. You know, I love you, man. So
Thanks, man.
all right, I'll catch y'all later.
Appreciate
Peace
it.
and
dude.
love. Bye-bye.
Peace.
All right. All right, Priscilla, get on here. Say hello. Hello.
Hiya. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. I just wanted to say first of all, hi, Dad. And I wanted to say I really your videos are really amazing in Clasher. I'm a
Appreciate
massive
it.
your work. Weird question, but what's one of like the hardest Easter eggs you've had to find on in the Call of Duty series?
That has well. I don't know if it's hard, but the most contested one is definitely Jessica Mason in Black Ops 4. The idea that I still think she's Spectre, but that's the one that's most contested, and
Yeah.
there's not probably the least evidence for it, but I like the evidence that is there for it, so probably that one.
I also have probably loads of people have noticed, but when you're doing the when Belle's being like interrogated and Adler's asking where to find the bunker and all that shit, have you noticed how many like effigies there are of Adler?
What do you mean?
So like if you like go on like certain tracks during the interrogation.
Oh yeah, like well, it's because the reason why that is because these are his memories that are in your head, right? So like that's why you're seeing him constantly. It's because that's all him.
I want a Adler effigy in my back garden.
Get out the chisel.
Good.
All right, Priscilla, I'm gonna bring this to a close because we have to move on. Yeah. Well, I'll see you Tuesday morning, right?
Yes, you should do because of time zones and stuff.
Nice, sweetie. See you then. Thanks for coming by. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dad. Bye, Inkslasher.
Have a good one.
All right, man. So how do you want to transition this? You just want to I'll just close out of this and you stick around and then you want to record it? Do you want to do it on a different platform? What do you want to do?
You can do it on here. This works.
All right. So, okay, listen, we're going to close this down and part 2 is going to be where?
On my channel. Just Google Inkslasher or YouTube it. It'll be there tomorrow or Tuesday, one of the two.
All right. So thanks, everybody. Thank you for stopping by and come see part 2 over at Inkslasher's channel. All right.
Thanks for having
out?
me.
All right, Slash, you got to say Inkslasher out.
Inkslasher out.
What's the fuck out? Peace. Are you